You're listening to the Visionary Lifestyle Podcast, the show that's dedicated to raising consciousness and empowering you to activate your highest potential. I'm your host, Magda Freedom Rod. Greetings, Rainbow Warriors. I am coming to you today from Goa, seaside. I am recording this outside on my front porch, watching an epic sunset and enjoying the flight of the crows above me. And I'm doing this outside so you can hopefully get some of the sounds. I've got the ocean in front of me, maybe you can hear that, and the birds and the wind through the coconut trees, and it's like a balmy 80 degrees. I mean, this is a paradise I've found here, and who knows how much time I'll end up spending here in the future, but my time in India is drawing to a close. I've been here for a few months, actually. All of December I spent in Oroville, and since then I've been here in beautiful South Goa and teaching tons of yoga and spending tons of mermaid time in the sea, healing myself and catering to the needs of my private clients, and just really being in a good zone here. But this is coming to a close because very soon I will be hopping on a plane once again and heading back to Bali, where I will be attending the Bali Spirit Festival for the third year in a row, and that's very exciting. So in one of our episode today actually is from the last Bali Spirit Festival, so we'll get into that in a minute. But before I do anything else, I have to give a huge shout out to my new patron on Patreon. I got a very generous $50 a month patron that just signed up today, and the only name I have is Angel, and that's exactly what this person feels like, is an angel right now. Because if you listen to my 2-year anniversary episode, you might have heard me being a little bit discouraged about continuing to do this podcast because I haven't really been feeling so supported by my listeners. So receiving this wonderful support from this angel today really put some wind in my sails, and I was actually already planning on recording this episode today because I do miss talking to you guys. I do miss producing the episodes, and as I had said in that other episode, is that it's difficult for me to prioritize it because I'm losing money here. I'm paying out of my pocket to bring you all this free content. And it's been a little discouraging that I haven't had more support. So this new pay today, I am just feeling so blessed and so supported. And thank you, Angel, whoever you are, wherever you are. I hope we can be more in touch and I can learn about why you feel that you're getting so much value from this show that you want to get on a $50 level for the monthly Patreon. That's just huge. For me, that's huge. That really makes me feel appreciated and like the work that I'm doing is actually meaningful. So keep those patron donations coming. I mean, the last episode I asked for if you could even do $2 a month, and Angel showed up with $50 a month. So Angel is really carrying the weight for all of you who are listening and not donating and not supporting. And as I laid out on that other episode, there are ways to support the show that don't cost any money, just by sharing it on your social media, by telling friends and family about it, and writing a review is really helpful as well. So please keep all that love and support coming because we want to keep the show going. I want to keep the show going, but it needs to be a bit more of an exchange, and that really feels like that today. So again, Angel, from the bottom of my heart, so grateful for you. So without further ado, let's move into today's episode. Again, this was recorded at the Bali Spirit Festival last year. And our guest is Ebony Smith, aka the Ghetto Guru. She is a world-renowned yoga and mindfulness instructor and founder of Yoga in the Hood, a non-profit organization dedicated to making wellness accessible to everyone. In short, they teach yoga in the hood. So Yoga in the Hood is one of the fastest growing nonprofits in Dallas, translating how wellness is implemented across cultural and social economic barriers. I got to tell you, Ebony is like a shero to me. Let me keep going here. Growing up in the inner city Dallas, she knew firsthand what it means to be at a disadvantage. She then learned the power of thought and that what you think will truly cultivate the life you live. Ebony is an inspiring example of how yoga can heal and transform your life. She went from getting fired from every job she'd ever had, an alcoholic misfit, to traveling the world, teaching yoga and mindfulness and inspiring others to be the greatest versions of themselves. She went from a college dropout and pill popper to speaking and teaching at Harvard Medical School, Essence Festival, South by Southwest, Bali, Canada, Jamaica, and all over the USA. She's been contracted by Wanderlust, United Way Dallas, Texas Women's College, Quinn College, City of Dallas, and other major corporations and institutions to motivate and inspire students, staff, and human beings to be the greatest versions of themselves. From her website, Ebony says, I am a soul that continues to flourish through all. I am the flower in the concrete, the bloom in the dead of winter, and I am truly your reflection. Changing my thoughts changed my life and continues to every day in every moment in and out of time. It is a powerful tool for living the greatest version of your life. These tools and strategies are taught, not birth given, and allow me the honor of creating a space for growth and well-being for you and yours. I hope you enjoy the interview and get a taste of the enthusiasm for yoga that turned Ebony's life around and continues to be the gift that keeps on giving as her business is growing quickly, meeting the needs of a sorely underserved community. I was honored to meet her and spend this time with her at the Bali Spirit Festival. And I just can't say enough. Her energy is through the roof. She is a huge inspiration to me, and I'm sure she will be to you as well. She's a huge inspiration to so many. So please do enjoy the show. Send me a note. Let me know what you think about it. Take a listen and be ready to be inspired. Enjoy and namaste. Ebony Smith, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. We're at the Bali Spirit Festival in amazing Bali. And we are both from the United States of America.
Yeah.
And you're from Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
I'm more from the California side, West Coast.
Right on.
And I'm so happy to meet you.
Oh, I'm so glad to meet you too. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I was so inspired when I heard you in the press conference the other day. And, we had this little panel and there you were and I heard your story. And I just said, it was like an immediate, I turned around to Valentine and I was like, get me her information. I'm going to be interviewing her. Because like you, I'm not only a yogi, I'm also an activist.
Yeah.
And you are such an activist.
Oh,
and it really turns me on that you care about the world and, making the world a better place. And we share so much in common because we both understand that yoga is the path, right? To help make people happy and healthy and get on track, right? Especially when they're off track.
Yeah.
And learning what you're doing with the school buses and the kids and putting kids in yoga instead of detention.
Yeah.
This is genius and brilliant. We need like a million more of you.
Ooh, thank you. I need to take you with me everywhere.
I'll be your personal PR.
Right.
But this is incredible. I'm so inspired by you.
Thank you.
And tell our listeners. Tell our listeners how this journey started for you. How did yoga find you?
Oh, man. So I started practicing yoga when I was pregnant with my first daughter, Zoe Marie. Shout out, Zoe. Which she's 7 now. And so the only thing I knew about being pregnant was that I wanted to have a natural childbirth because I saw Ricky Lake had one on a documentary.
Yep. Yeah, the business of being born.
Yeah. So I was like, I guess we can do that. I love Ricky Lake. And so I found a doula, and my doula was like, you got to start practicing yoga because it's going to help to prepare your body.
Right.
Well, I went to a yoga studio, and when I went inside that yoga studio, they were like, this is a yoga studio. And I'm like, yeah, no, I came to get donuts. Yes, of course, I know it's a yoga studio. I came to practice. And it felt really uncomfortable. Like nobody there looked anything like me, was the same color or the same size that I was. But I did it anyway, and it was amazing. Like I felt comfortable in my uncomfortableness, which has never happened, And I met myself for the first time on the mat. Like I met Ebony and who she was, you know what I'm saying? And found out possibly who she could be,
Did that
all
happen
there on
in
the
the
mat.
first class?
Not who she could be, but I met her. You know, I met her in the first class. I was like, dang, where'd you come from? And my name's been Ebony all my life, right? So
yeah, but now you.
But it was the first time that I literally met myself on the mat, you know.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, and this kind of sucks, but I love it, so I'm gonna keep coming back to it.
Well, I love that you pushed through that resistance.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the response that you got when you first walked into the studio, you're like, hell no, I'm here to do this anyway. Like,
yeah.
You know, that has character. You have character already.
I've always been like that, you know, just going against the grain. This time it kind of worked though, you know.
Yeah.
Normally it's like, you know, you're gonna get in trouble for it, but this time it worked, and I'm glad.
Wow, this you know, this is another thing we have in common is I found yoga when I was pregnant with my daughter. Yeah,
that's
she
amazing.
took me to prenatal yoga, is what I say, and I landed in somehow a natural birthing midwife center. Like I don't even know how I got there, I can't remember, but that's when I started learning about organic and natural lifestyle. Yeah. So when people ask me how I started yoga, I credit my daughter.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out Zoe. That's why I named her Life, because she literally gave me life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They make us better people. Our
of
kids,
course.
Right?
Yes. I would not be anything without my kids. Like seriously.
Oh, I'm so with you on this. We have so much in common. It's beautiful.
Love it.
So, okay. So then you did your first class, and you were like, "Yes, this feels good. I'm meeting myself for the first time."
Yeah.
And then what happened?
So I just started practicing on a regular basis. I had Zoe, you know, and my life just began to transform. You know, I just noticed not only how I was growing physically, like being able to get into the poses after the practice, which was cool, but like spiritually. Like I've gone to church all my life, like the same church, Friendship West, all my life. And I had never felt closer to God, closer to the Creator than I felt when I was at yoga, which is crazy because I live in Texas in the Bible Belt, right? And yoga and Jesus don't go together. Like for some reason, it's like, you know, a religious connotation about yoga and who's supposed to be doing it, and like that's going against your Christianity or whatnot.
Right.
But I had never ever been closer to God than I had been when I came onto the mat, you know? And I was like, hey, if it can help to build my relationship with the Creator, and then help me mentally be stable, you know, help with my anxiety and my depression, and help me be able to make good choices finally in my life. Then I was just like, well, why is this not accessible to the people that need it the most? It brought me a healing, you know, and it wasn't from somewhere else outside of me. It taught me that I can depend on me, you know, that I can look inside of me, and the Creator created me to create, you know?
Right.
And so I was like, man, everybody needs this, especially the people in my community, especially people who are dealing with trauma and poverty. Like, why is this not accessible? There are no yoga studios near where I lived. And if there were some that were far away, they were very expensive, like $20 for a yoga class or whatnot, which is ridiculous. Yeah. So I was like, screw that, I'm gonna start teaching yoga in the park. And so I started teaching yoga in the park, Keys Park, this park I had been going to all of my life. So I was like, boom, I'm start teaching yoga here. I did that for like 2 years, and you know, people showed up. Shout out to the people who showed up. You know, right? Very few, but they did. And it didn't matter to me if I showed up and it was one person there or 10 people there or nobody there. A lot of times it was nobody there. Yeah. But I still practice, you know. And then last summer, I showed up to yoga in my spot, and it was like 150 people out there. And I was like, these people are in my damn spot. But they were there to do yoga with me. So I was like, yes.
Wow.
Yes, it was amazing.
That's tremendous. Yeah. So did you do a teacher training? Or
I did a teacher training with the Dallas Yoga Studio, Dallas Yoga Center, excuse me. David Sunshine, Amazing the Sunshine Brothers, they're awesome. So I did my yoga training there. And then I did trauma-informed yoga therapy, which really helped me out with reaching out to my community. With Genevieve Yellen, which is an amazing individual out of Austin, and she does a lot of research with trauma and yoga and how it's beneficial to the life and how it works with the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nerves. And you know, she does studies with Harvard, and so it's just amazing. She's awesome. I love her. My good guru, Genevieve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it sounds to me like you discovered on the yoga mat
Yeah.
that you are your own guru.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right?
That I am my own teacher. That's why I call myself the Ghetto Guru. You know?
So good. Hashtag the Ghetto Guru.
Hashtag the Ghetto Guru. Yeah, I call myself that, you know, because I am my own teacher. And all of this time, all of my life, I had been fighting against the grain, fighting against what other people were trying to make me and conform me into, you know? And it caused me a lot of heartache. It caused me a lot of strife, you know? But then to know that, oh no, you're cool. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? You can totally be you. It's fine. To know that and become one with that is amazing. And I grow in that every day.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
This is true yoga. You're yoga's union, right?
That's what it is.
It's the self with the higher self.
It is.
You're merging. You're discovering your higher self. You're getting to know her.
And I love that. It's not always about the poses and can I fold up like a pretzel, and it's about connecting with the breath and using the breath to cultivate a well-being.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Woo! You're on it. You know exactly what's up. I'm so inspired by you.
Because it's my experience, you know? It's not something I read in a book. It's not something that somebody else told me. It's what I lived. Yeah,
it's your own experience. Yeah, you are a living testament to the power of yoga. And this is what I like to help people understand is that yoga can really transform your life. And, you know, when people say, oh, I tried yoga, you know, it wasn't for me. I'm like, no, you need to try another teacher.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Because yoga, as I see it, is the answer to so many of the world's problems, you know, which all start within, right? Because we're the microcosm, the world is the macrocosm. So when we heal ourselves, we automatically heal the world, right?
Yeah.
And I love what you're doing. So you started reaching out, and what's happening with the school buses? About school buses.
So, it's super cool that we get to work in school. So we started off with after school programming, and so we just do mindful movement because in Texas you can't really call it yoga yet, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
And so we do mindful movement, and then I noticed like every time we go into the schools, we never really have anywhere to practice. It's always super crowded, a lot of people around, you know, or we just really don't have anywhere to practice that's conducive to being mindful and being able to go inside. Like a lot of times you need a quiet space for that. And so I was like, you know what? I went to New York for Yoga Journal Live and I saw a tumble bus. And the tumble bus has kids come in there and they practice gymnastics. So I was like, shit, if they can flip in there, we can do some yoga in there. Yeah, and so that's where it came from.
Okay.
Yeah, the mindful school bus. Yeah, and we're making it happen.
How many buses?
So we have one bus right now. We're renovating. It's our first bus. And so, you know, shout out to everybody who GoFundMe, keep funding us. And we're renovating it right now. So we're taking out all the seats and we're changing it into, we're laying floor and putting shelves in for the yoga mats and all that good jazz.
Wow, and so you're in the process of building the first one right now.
Yeah, we're in the process of building the first one, and we just got connected with United Way, the ground floor project in Dallas. Shout out United Way, and so we'll be getting 2 more buses really soon.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and so by the time the school year starts up, 2018, 2019, we'll have 3 school buses, maybe 4. You know, on the roads ready to go. 2 of them we'll use as mobile yoga studios to do our after school programs in. And then 2 of them we'll use them in our pilot programs to replace ISS, in-house suspension and detention with yoga and mindfulness. And so those buses will be stationary at those schools. And so instead of the kids being sent off, they'll be able to get on the bus.
So out of the detention room into the yoga studio.
Yeah.
Can I get a hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
This is exactly what the world needs. Are you kidding me? I am so proud of you. I'm so grateful.
Thank you so much.
I'm so grateful that you're doing this, that you're stepping up in your community and doing this. You're really role modeling, I'm sure.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, inspiring so many people. And I'm seeing, as you're talking about these school buses and converting them, I'm seeing like, you know, Kickstarter campaigns and you raising like 10 times your goal. Because so many people are going to get behind you and support this, right? I mean,
that's what I'm seeing. Yes. You see it. You can see it.
You're building the model now, right? And from there you can scale it all over the country.
Yeah, that's what I really want. The mindful school bus will be all over the country, teaching children how to be mindful, changing the way the education system educates our children socially, emotionally, physically, and mentally, because that's what we're missing. I taught school for 5 years. I taught 5th grade for 5 years, and I ran into so many children who just did not know how to self-regulate themselves, did not know how to identify their emotions, who were not socially and emotionally well. And that's because we're not teaching that in school. And we say that, oh, that's the parent's job, but are you kidding me? Like, as a teacher, I spent more time with those students than their parents did. And so it's our responsibility to teach social emotional development like we teach math and science. Like, that's what we need to be teaching our children, how to be well. In the United States this year alone, and it's only March, there have been 17 school shootings. 17 school shootings, taking away and injuring our most precious human beings. And why?
17. I didn't know
17. Can you believe that? And it's only March. April. It's April now. The months are running together.
It's barely April.
Barely April. Yeah, and so why are they doing that? Why are these children doing that? Taking the lives of other people and taking the lives of themselves is because they don't know how to tap in. And they don't know how to regulate their emotions. And so they're just acting out of.
And they're getting put on drugs because of those issues. So instead of being sent to the yoga studio, they're being sent to the psychiatrist's office and being put on drugs, and it's just creating a vicious circle. And it's a
and not
recipe
even
for
the
disaster.
psychiatrist, the school is prescribing these drugs. Like, what the heck? Like, you can be in a classroom and your teacher say, you know, I think that this child is ADD. They run a couple of little tests, then they tell your mom, hey, you can go here and get these drugs for your kids. You know what I'm saying? That's how they do it in Texas, but I think that's a thing, you know. And so you don't necessarily have to go to a psychiatrist to be, you know, put on these kind of meds. That's even scarier. No wonder we have such an epidemic. It's an epidemic. We were turning our children into drug addicts is what we're doing.
True. But thank God there's people like you who are coming up with the solution.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And this is, you recognize that you're doing karma yoga as well, right? So you're not just doing the, you know, the asana and teaching the kids, you know, true yoga, but you're actually doing karma yoga. So you're getting a lot of good karma points.
Thank you. Trying to tally them up, you know. I got to make up for lost time.
Making up for lost time now, for sure.
Because I was definitely one of those kids. Always in in-house suspension, always suspended, you know, because I was dealing with things and nobody was tapping into that. Nobody ever asked me, why are you acting out? It was always, something is wrong with you, so go over there. We don't want you over here. As opposed to, how can I help you, you know? Nobody ever asked me, why do you feel like you have to act out? And I would have told them it's because I'm hurting inside, because somebody molested me and nobody's listening.
But you couldn't even articulate that at the time, probably,
not even at the time. But at least I could have been like, you know, somebody's touching me or something. I would have been able to say something.
And now you're in touch with yourself and you know how to communicate. And this is part of the toolkit that yoga gives you. Being in touch with yourself and understanding yourself better. So to think of you as like sharing this with the kids, and so you're not only teaching kids, you're also teaching people in your community.
For sure.
So all ages.
And
then you have other teachers as well?
Yeah, the Guru Squad. Shout out the Guru Squad for holding it down.
How many teachers do you have?
So right now we have 8 people on the Guru Squad, and they volunteer their time. They're amazing human beings. Like, I'm in Bali right now, but on Saturday we'll have 2 free classes like we always do. And all the after school programs are still going on. You know, and I would not be able to do it without those amazing human beings who see the vision and who believe in yoga in the hood and believe in what we're doing. So I'm forever grateful for you all. Oh my goddess, I love this story. So what's next when you go home? What'll happen? Oh, I'm bringing Bali home. That's for sure.
You're in love with this place,
man, I love this place. I love this space. I love that it's teaching me that you don't need all the shit that people say you need. Like, they live so simple and they always have smiles on their faces. Like, it's just such a beautiful thing, you know? And it's then sucks to know that we're not living at home. we're working 9 to 5s.
Yeah.
We're going to work and not living our passion, don't have time for our kids, don't have time for ourselves.
Survival mode.
Yeah, just to get this house that we really can't pay for, just to drive this car that nobody really, it's not even worth a damn after you buy it, you know?
Right.
And so we're not living. And I just want to teach people how to live their greatest life, you know? Be the greatest version of yourself. That is my affirmation. Yeah, that I want to teach people how to be the greatest version of themselves.
Yeah.
And whatever that looks like whatever that looks like to you. That's a beautiful thing about yoga in its truest form, that it's about you, like not me or what I'm trying to instruct you to do, but it's you and your growth and your journey. You know, I'm just here to give you a little something.
Right. Bring people back to themselves. Bring them to the mat so they can meet themselves like you did, right?
Yeah. And teach people how to change their mind. When I changed my mind in the way that I thought about myself and my circumstances and money and traveling and love, like when I changed my mind, I changed my life. You know, I've been in Bali, but this is my first time in Bali. I've already been in Bali right here and right here. Right, now my physical body just caught up. So just to inspire people, that's why I feel like it's important for me to be vulnerable and tell people where I come from and the things that I've done to let them know that shit, you can do it too. If I can do it, you can do it. Like, you know, I'm just a little black girl from Oak Cliff, Texas, in and out of trouble, in and out of jail, unable to make good decisions. Like, and if I can change my mind and change my life, if I can go from Loose Derrick, which is the jail in Dallas, to Bali, then you can do anything you want to do in your life.
Yeah, I see you being a huge inspiration for so many people.
Yeah.
So what do you think it was in you that became this activist? Because from what I'm hearing, that wasn't really such a part of you before you met yourself. You met your true self, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I need to get active and help other people do this. So like you had an inner activist that got unleashed through the yoga process, right? Through meeting yourself. Like, that's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I think it's, I don't know.
It was like this pearl within you that you didn't know existed.
Yeah, it had the pressure. It had the pressure.
Yeah, the facet of the diamond has now been exposed.
Shining.
so shiny. But that's beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? I come from a line of people who, you know, withstand. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if I'm talking about just an African American lineage, I come from individuals who are fighters, people who have paved the way for me. Like, it was just the anniversary of the death of Martin Luther King Jr. and he and I share the same birthday. I was born on January 15th. He was born on January 15th. So it's kind of in my lineage, you know what I'm saying? But more so than that, I just don't like to stand by and see people hurt and see people longing for something outside of themselves, when I know I have a knowing, because I've experienced it, that you can get that. It's right inside. Whatever you're looking for is inside of you.
That's where you found it. You found yourself, and you found that. That's beautiful. And I think about, as yogis, you know, learning the chakras and the subtle energy bodies, and we talk about the throat chakra, right? Vishuddha. And that's our voice. And there's so much power in that. And this is one of the reasons I was so inspired to talk to you and have this interview with you, is because you are so good at using your voice, not just to teach people yoga, but to raise awareness. And this is being part of a true yogi does that. A true yogi calls out injustice. A true yogi stands up for what's right and is compassionate and helps those around them. Right? So you're just karma yoga, your voice, your Vishuddha, your throat chakra is loud and clear, nice and open.
And that's so crazy, because it was so blocked for so long. Like, I could not say my truth. I could not say it out loud, so much so that I did not tell the truth to people at all. You know, and so to be able to, I never even thought about that, to be able to speak my truth, like without hesitation, without anxiety, like just to be able to say it and it is what it is.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. And I hope that my truth inspires somebody else to live their truth.
Yeah. Well, it's already happening. I mean, we're witnessing it. I mean, I just have to tell the audience now that as I was meeting you for this interview tonight, you had a fan there. Just like before you and I could even connect, we saw each other, we were walking towards each other, and this girl came up and said, "Oh my God, can I do a selfie with you? You inspired me so much in that class today." And I was just like, she gets this everywhere she goes, I'm sure, because
it's so amazing. It never gets old. It never gets old, because not the selfies, although I love selfies, but that is the goal. And I just want to inspire people to be themselves. And I know the best way to inspire people to be themselves is for me to be myself.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. I would say, from my perspective, you have found your Dharma.
Yeah.
And that is just such a beautiful thing to witness.
Isn't it? Oh my gosh. It's so good after so long.
Yeah.
And you don't know how every job, I've had 1,000 jobs I've worked since I was 13 years old, and every last one of them I got fired from. And that's because that was not what I was supposed to be doing.
That's right.
Yeah, and the creator was like, no, this is not, no. It's not what you're supposed to be doing. Hey, no, not it. That's not it.
And now you found it.
Yeah, and it feels really good. Yeah. Follow your heart. Do what you want to do.
That's it. Lead with the heart. And this, back to the voice, that's what yoga does for us, is it purifies the energy body as well. So then suddenly your throat chakra is clear, and you can you speak your truth, and look at how much of impact you're making in the world already. Just by being balanced and centered yourself, you're making such a positive impact on so many people, and obviously so many more to come. It's going to be such a joy to watch this project of yours expand and grow and scale. And I think about all the children and all the people that are going to be have themselves improved by what you're doing, and that is just such a massive inspiration.
Yeah, that makes my heart sing. Makes my heart sing a beautiful song. If I can help somebody cultivate the life that they see in their mind, that they feel in their heart, or if I can keep a child from feeling disenchanted about school or being put to the side, then I'm all for it. Because it sucks, man. It sucks always being suspended, because to me that shouted out to me that we don't want you here,
right?
That we don't. And I never came back from suspension like reformed, like, oh, I'll never do that again. I'm like, no, how can I get a few more days off?
Right. But you come out of yoga class transformed. Right.
Yeah.
Amen. Thank you so much, sister. I am so grateful to meet you, and thank you for your time here.
Thank you so much.
I am really looking forward to keeping in touch with you and supporting you in any way that I can, and watching this project grow and expand. Thank you so much.
I appreciate the love. You're an amazing human being.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Namaste. That was awesome.
Today's episode is brought to you by the Conscious Eating 101 Ecourse. This is a 6-week online course aimed at empowering you to make food choices that are in alignment with your values. The program is based on ahimsa, also known as non-harm, and helps you make every bite that you take an expression of love, self-love, animal love, and planet love. The course offers 15 lessons and 20 nutritious and delicious recipes, and is offered over 6 weeks that you can do at your own pace. It includes lessons like plant-based nutrition, protein, dairy alternatives, the story on sugar, GMOs, label reading, and many more. If you're looking to increase your health and happiness, balance your weight, reduce your footprint on the planet, and align your food choices with your values, or are interested in being part of the solution to huge world problems like climate change, rainforest destruction, and world hunger, then this is the course for you. If this speaks to you, please check out consciouseating101.com today. Thanks so much for answering the call to be here today. I'm so glad you're part of our tribe of activated rainbow warriors. If you found the show in any way empowering or inspiring, I would be so grateful if you would share the show on social media or with friends and family that you think would benefit from these conversations. And also, rate and review the show in iTunes. This is really the very best way to help support the show and help us get noticed by others who are looking for the sort of content that we're sharing. Now notice there are no outside ads playing here. That's because the show is supported by you, the listener. You can become a patron of the show with a small monthly donation by checking out the perks on our Patreon page at patreon.com/visionary lifestyle and signing up there. There's also a one-time donation button on the podcast page of the website if that suits you better. And just so you know, your donations help to cover the necessary out-of-pocket monthly expenses to produce the show and will also help us grow so we can inspire and educate even more people. And hey tribe, I'd love to hear from you. Visit me at visionary-lifestyle.com and please tell me your comments and questions. I really look forward to connecting with you. I love you. Namaste.